Wait, do I have to?
Are you fucking serious?
Asking you for something. Get back in the store.
Because you're detained for a shoplifting investigation.
Okay.
He's claiming you didn't show him a receipt. It's his job to check receipts to make sure people aren't stealing. No, you have to be able to prove that you purchased this.
I'm just showing you guys my receipt.
Maybe you should have said that instead of, do I have to? Instead of, I don't need to show you a receipt.
I don't believe I have to show a receipt. I mean, I'm put in handcuffs for nothing.
You're detained for a shoplifting investigation, something else. Was this what you do then? Just go around videotaping and everything?
I mean, I record my workouts.
Is that what you're doing right now? You're working on it? Easy it was that I came in with the TV, but instead wanted to have other words.
Welcome back, everybody. As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer and instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, investigations, etc. And here we have a very interesting, video that we're going to be discussing here today. And it's the old Walmart receipt debacle that has gone on for a long time. And so let's just do an overview real quick. You have this older gentleman here who's going to the police officers and saying, hey, he's not showing me his ID. And the law enforcement just immediately cuffs and stuffs this guy, asks for a receipt, shows him the receipt, and then the law enforcement decides that they're just going to give him a tongue lashing. Now, I'm going to tell you, just talk about the case law real quick, and then I might kind of go into my opinions. We'll just see how I'm feeling about it. But let's look at the case law real quick. You guys are very familiar with Brown v. Texas, 1979. Supreme Court has affirmed law enforcement needs reasonable articulable suspicion in order to detain and compel someone to identify themselves. Again, Brown v. Texas, 1979. They absolutely did that in this case. Now, the question that we're going to have to ask ourselves, did they have reasonable articulable suspicion? Reasonable articulable suspicion is a lower threshold. It's above a hunch, below probable cause. We're kind of in a weird Adams v. Williams situation here. I can tell you, I wouldn't have done it. So I'm not going to do it. But the reason why, more importantly, I'm not going to do it is not just because of this case law, but because of other case law precedent. And that other case law precedent I think is important. It's called Jeremiah Henderson versus Walmart Stores, Fourth Circuit Court case in 2023. This is a civil tort coming out of the United States District Court for Eastern District of Virginia. I encourage you guys to go look at this. But in this case, the appellant, which happened to be an older gentleman in his 70s, who had 77-year-old man, had heart conditions. And again, I encourage you guys to read this case. Essentially, had heart conditions. He bought something at the Walmart store in a cart, pushing the cart out. That is when Walmart store employee asked him for his receipt. He said no. He's a grumpy old man. He's claiming he has health conditions. Irrespective, he's a grumpy old man that doesn't want to be talked to, doesn't want to produce his receipt. He literally just bought it, does not care, tries to leave. And store employee, she grabs his cart. Words are exchanged. Eventually, he goes on his way. He then tried to sue for false imprisonment. The court threw it out. But the reason why this is a good case, and this is something to look at, is because clearly, if we look at the situation, failure to show a receipt does not automatically mean that you have carte blanche probable cause to arrest somebody. Now, also, I would argue that showing your receipt doesn't carte blanche give you reasonable articulable suspicion to believe that anything was stolen either, right? If I had no contact with you, I know nothing of you, and the sheer fact that you're walking in a store and don't want to provide an ID, don't want to provide a receipt, that doesn't give me reasonable articulable suspicion. Outside of you not wanting to present something that you own, that does not, to my opinion, does not rise to any level in which I can make a detainment. I can do detainment authority. Under color of law. I don't see that. If you disagree with me, I'm very curious. Please let me know in the comment section below how you get there. in this court case, they kind of talk about the reasonability of it. It's reasonable. They try to argue that it's reasonable that somebody would show a receipt. And by and large, I agree. Most people do show receipts when asked, but I don't think that just because most people do something automatically means that you no longer have autonomy over your body, and more importantly, not just your body, but your possessions that you paid for. At that point, it's your property. At the point in which you paid for those goods now belong to you. And so I think it's reasonable if I buy something that I don't have to give it to you if I don't want to. That receipt is also my property. I just because I bought something doesn't mean that it's reasonable to me to believe that I just don't want to give it up to you when I just bought it. So again, different ways of looking at this, different thought processes here. But I mean, that's the case law. The district court obviously dropped his lawsuit and says that he does not believe that an illegal arrest occurred. The court dismissed that judgment, but there's very interesting language in there in regards to the receipt. And I in looking at everything, I believe, right, and I guess I will tell you how I feel. I believe these officers acted completely irrationally, unprofessionally. Again, I don't know who they are. I don't know who trained them. I don't know what issues he has going on in his personal life, nor does that matter. But just complete disrespect and just a very poor investigator. Poor excuse for police work. And again, I don't know who this person is. If he was in front of me face to face, I'd tell him the same thing. Poor excuse for police work. I hope that he doesn't go into investigations with this kind of mindset, because he's not going to do very well there. And so, yeah, I think that this whole thing, if you do know the case law and you do understand constitutional rights and you do understand the case law precedents that should align to your jurisprudence in making discretionary decisions, because that's what we do as law enforcement, make discretionary decisions. I think that this person, if there's anybody that has an argument for a civil lawsuit for false imprisonment, it would be this gentleman right here. Again, he bought something, property he owns, right? Because you're at a store to buy things, right? So it's property that he owns, and he's being falsely accused and he's being falsely imprisoned because he didn't want to turn over his property to somebody else, which I think is reasonable. Why would you? Now, there's that whole legal aspect of it. Now, from the other standpoint, people ask me all the time, do I have to produce receipts? I'm not a lawyer. I ask a lawyer for legal advice, but based upon as a cop and what I train and advice I give myself, no, it's not a requirement to. It's not a requirement for you to give receipts unless you want to, right? There's no legal, as a law enforcement officer training other law enforcement, and somebody who does this and who does investigations at a very extremely high level, no, there's nothing there that states that I have to give over my property to you because you ask, right? I don't have to give my property to you just because you ask me for said property. And Walmart rules are not law, right? The rules that you have are completely irrelevant and irrespective to me. Now, with that being said, there comes the other aspect of it. If I don't abide by the rules, you can exclude me, right? That would be a grounds for an exclusion. And I think, for example, Costco is very good in this arena, right? So you pay for a membership, and that membership states that, hey, if you're going to walk out of the Costco, we need to see your ID and we need to check it. Now, do you have to comply with that rule? No. Again, it's a rule. It's not a law. You don't have to comply with that. And at the same time, Costco has every right to say, well, you don't want to comply with it, that's fine. We're just going to terminate your membership and you can no longer shop here, right? And I know there was a big thing with the whole scanning your ID cards, right? Costco started doing that and everybody started to freak out. Hey, this is Big Brother. This is that. And I saw numerous times when they rolled that out, people refusing to do it. So they said, okay, well, let's just go ahead and go over to our, please go to our customer service and we're going to revocate your membership. If you don't wish to do that, we'll just, revocate your membership irrespective, right? So, there are different ways in which they can enforce their rules, right? Do I see Walmart doing that will know Walmart is not a membership-based outlet. But Costco, on the other hand, I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, they have absolutely no problem. They have absolutely no problem doing that. We saw a lot of this with the mask stuff during the whole, flu season that we had a couple years ago. And so, yeah, we saw the same thing during COVID-19 with masks. You saw people saying, hey, I'm not saying that you have to wear it, but if you don't wear it here, we're going to exclude you, right? So stores can exclude people, but as far as detaining you, arresting you, imprisoning you for not showing a receipt, no, that's ridiculous. Can't do that. And again, these officers are just poor excuse. Poor excuse for police work. I don't want to ramble off too much on that, but I mean, they're just horrible, absolutely horrible, absolutely failed that. So there you have it. But most importantly, what do you guys think? I want to know in the comment section. Do you guys, whenever people ask for your receipts, do you show your receipts? Do you guys have Costco memberships, or do you have other memberships, outlets you go to? Do you show receipts? What's your opinion on showing your receipts? I'm interested to know what you have to say in the comment section below. Well, I hope this was helpful for you guys. And as always, guys, long live the Republic.